Let me ask you something. Are we actually watching the end of an era right now? Because the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James's Lakers, just lost game four to the Houston Rockets, 115 to 96. And this series is now tied up 2 games apiece. 2 games apiece with a game five coming up that could flip everything. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, it's LeBron. He always finds a way. He always comes through in the big moments. He's been doing this for over 20 years. You can't count him out. And you know what? You're not wrong. I've learned never to fully count out LeBron James. The man has done things in this league that nobody else has ever done. But I'm also going to be real with you today because the Houston Rockets are doing something in this series that is genuinely worrying me if I'm a Lakers fan, and I think we need to have an honest conversation about it. Welcome back to Full Court Gossip. I'm your host, and today we're going deep on the Lakers-Rockets series, one of the most exciting and most unpredictable storylines of these entire playoffs. Get comfortable. This is going to be a good one. Let's go back to the beginning of this series because I think a lot of people came into this Lakers-Rockets matchup and just assumed LA would handle their business. And honestly, I get it. On paper, the Lakers look like the more experienced team. LeBron James, Anthony Davis when he's healthy and focused, a roster with real playoff experience against a Houston team that, yes, has been impressive this season, but they're young. They're unproven in the playoffs at this level, right? That's what a lot of people thought going in. And then game one happened. Lakers win 101 to 94. Okay, expected. Experience wins out. LA takes care of home court. Nothing to see here. Move along. Game two, same story. Lakers win again. They go up 2-0. At this point, most people are writing Houston off. People are talking about a Lakers sweep. They're already looking ahead to the second round matchup. The Rockets are getting no respect, no coverage, nothing. Here's where the story gets interesting. Houston goes home for game three, and something changes. The Rockets come out with a completely different energy, desperate, aggressive, physical, and they steal the game 108 to 112. Wait, the Lakers won that one. But let me tell you, it was not comfortable. It was not the dominant performance LA needed to put this series away. And then game four, Houston wins 115 to 96, 19 points. The Rockets beat the Lakers by 19 points. That is not a fluke. That is not lucky bounces and hot shooting. That is a team that has figured something out. That is a team that watched 2 games of film, made adjustments, and executed a game plan better than their opponent. So now we're at 2-2, series tied, everything wide open, and game 5 is about to decide the momentum of this entire series. How did this happen? Let me break it down. The Houston Rockets deserve so much more credit than they're getting right now, and I want to give them their flowers before I get into anything else. First, their pace. Houston plays fast. They want to push the ball in transition. They want to get out in the open court. They want to score before the defense can set up. And that style of play is genuinely difficult for the Lakers to handle because LA is a half-court team at their best. They want to run their sets. They want to get Anthony Davis in the post. They want to find LeBron in the pick and roll, slow it down, methodical, controlled. Houston doesn't let that happen. They're constantly pushing the tempo, constantly putting pressure on the Lakers to get back on defense, constantly creating easy buckets before LA can even think about setting up their scheme. And when you're forcing a team to play faster than they want to play, you're already winning the chess match. Second, their youth and athleticism. Listen, I'm going to say something that might be uncomfortable for some people. LeBron James is still incredible, but he's been in the league for over 2 decades. His body has been through more than almost any player in history. And when you put him against young, explosive, fresh legs that haven't played 20-plus years of NBA basketball, there's going to be moments where the difference in athleticism shows up. Not in LeBron's skill, not in his IQ, but in the pure physical energy levels, the explosion, the recovery time on defense. Houston's young guys are flying around that court. They're taking charges, diving on loose balls, sprinting back in transition. They're playing like their whole career depends on every single possession, because in the playoffs, it kind of does. Third, they're shooting. The Rockets have been knocking down three-pointers at a really good clip in this series. And when Houston is hitting from outside, they become almost impossible to guard because now the Lakers can't just load up and protect the paint. They have to respect the perimeter, and that opens up driving lanes. It creates mismatches. It puts LA's defense in impossible situations. Game 4 was a perfect example. Houston came out shooting confidently from three, made the Lakers pay early, and by the time LA tried to adjust, the game was already getting away from them. All right, now let's talk about what's happening in purple and gold, because there are some real issues here, and I think we need to be honest about them. Number one, the supporting cast. LeBron James and Anthony Davis have been doing their jobs. Both of them have shown up in this series. Both of them are playing at a high level individually. But here's the problem. The rest of the roster has been wildly inconsistent. In the NBA playoffs, you cannot win a series if only two guys are reliable every night. The great playoff teams always have a third, fourth, fifth option that steps up when needed. They have guys who hit a big three when the offense stalls. They have a defensive stopper who locks down the opponent's best scorer in crunch time. They have someone who can just handle the ball and not turn it over when things get chaotic. Right now, the Lakers' role players are not providing that. Some nights they hit shots, other nights they disappear, and against a hungry Houston team, disappearing is not an option. Number two, the turnovers. In Game 4, the Lakers were careless with the basketball at key moments. And turnovers in the playoffs are killers, because when you give a team like Houston a live ball in transition, they're going to score every time. They don't miss those opportunities. So every turnover isn't just 2 points lost. It's a potential 4-point swing when Houston converts on the other end. Number three, the defensive breakdowns. Anthony Davis is a phenomenal defender. LeBron has always prided himself on his defensive effort in the playoffs, but the rest of LA's defense has been leaky. There have been too many moments where Houston finds an open shooter for an uncontested three. Too many moments where a rotation is one step slow and a Rockets player gets an easy look at the basket. When your defense has holes, a team that shoots well from three is going to find them every single time. And Houston has found them. Number four, and this one is important, the mental approach. I wonder sometimes if the Lakers took this series seriously enough from the jump. When you go up 2-0, it's easy to start thinking about the next round. It's easy for your focus to drift just a little bit. Great teams don't let that happen, but it's human nature. And sometimes, unconsciously, a team lets its foot off the gas just slightly, and that's all a desperate opponent needs. Houston needed no invitation. They have been ready since Game 3, and now the Lakers are the ones who have to flip the switch and get locked back in. We cannot talk about this series without having a real conversation about LeBron James, because this is one of the storylines that is driving the internet crazy right now. Every time LeBron's team struggles in the playoffs, the conversation starts. Is this the year? Is this where it finally catches up to him? Is Father Time the one opponent LeBron always said he was afraid of? Is Father Time finally starting to win? I'm not going to sit here and say LeBron is done, because he's not. The man is still producing at a level that would make most players half his age jealous. His vision, his playmaking, his basketball IQ, it's all still there. He's still a player who can take over a game when he wants to. But here's what I will say. The margins are different now than they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. When LeBron was at his absolute peak, he could carry a team almost by sheer force of will for an entire 7-game series. He could will his teammates to perform better than they were capable of. He could single-handedly change the outcome of a game with one stretch of basketball in the third quarter. That version of LeBron, the guy who carried the 2018 Cavaliers to the NBA Finals on his back, the guy who had 51 points in a playoff game, that version could probably overcome what the Lakers are dealing with right now. At this stage, LeBron needs more help. He needs his team to show up consistently around him. He needs the role players to hit their shots. He needs the defense to hold. He cannot do it all by himself in the way he once could. And if the Lakers don't figure that out, if the supporting cast doesn't elevate their game starting in Game 5, then we might actually be watching LeBron's final chapter play out in real time. And that would be one of the most significant moments in the history of this league. I don't think we're there yet, but I'm watching. And you should be too. Game 5 is everything. Winner takes the series lead. The loser is one loss away from going home. This is the game where we find out what both of these teams are really made of. For the Lakers to win Game 5, here's what needs to happen. LeBron needs to be aggressive from the very first possession, not passive, not facilitating, aggressive. He needs to attack the basket. He needs to get to the free throw line. He needs to put pressure on Houston's defense early and often. When LeBron plays downhill, when he's making decisions in attack mode rather than thinking mode, he's almost impossible to stop. Anthony Davis needs to dominate the paint. Houston is going to try to push tempo. But if Davis is anchoring the defense and punishing them in the post on offense, LA can slow this game down and make it ugly. Ugly games are Lakers games. Clean, fast-paced track meet games are Houston games, and the role players, whoever they are, need to hit their first open shots. Momentum in a playoff game is so real. When the supporting cast hits early shots, the whole team relaxes. Everyone plays looser. The offense flows. When those shots don't fall, everyone tightens up. The ball stops moving, and suddenly it's LeBron trying to do everything himself. LA cannot afford that in Game 5. For Houston to win and go up 3-2, they need the same energy they had in Game 4. That was their best performance of the series. They need to push the pace from the opening tip, make the Lakers uncomfortable early, and not let LA settle into their half-court rhythm. Their shooters need to be confident. The Rockets cannot afford to go cold from 3 in a game this big. They need guys to catch and shoot without hesitation, trust the work they've put in, and not let the moment get too big for them. And defensively, they need to make life difficult for Anthony Davis. That means physicality. That means multiple bodies on him. That means making him earn every single touch. Davis is a nightmare to guard, but you can wear him down if you throw different looks at him all game long. My prediction, this one is genuinely close. Both teams have things going for them. But I'm going to go with the Lakers in Game 5. I think LeBron, with his back against the wall, his legacy on the line, everything on the table, I think that brings out the best version of him. And the best version of LeBron James in a must-win playoff game is still one of the scariest things in basketball. Lakers win Game 5, but barely, and this series is going to at least 6 games. Now, let me zoom out because I always want to give you the bigger picture on this channel. This Lakers-Rockets series is a metaphor for something bigger happening in the NBA right now. We are in the middle of a genuine changing of the guard. The old powers, the teams and players who have dominated this league for the last decade, are being challenged by a new wave. Young, hungry, athletic teams who have no fear and no respect for reputations. Houston is part of that wave. Minnesota is part of that wave. Oklahoma City is absolutely part of that wave. And the veterans, the LeBrons, the Jokic, the established stars, they're not going down without a fight. They never do. But every year, the challenge gets harder. Every year, the young guys get better, more prepared, more sophisticated in how they attack the game. This is what makes the NBA so compelling right now. It's not just about who wins a series. It's about watching the future arrive in real time. It's about watching legends fight to extend their legacies while the next generation refuses to wait its turn. If Houston knocks out the Lakers, if this is where LeBron's playoff run ends, it will be one of the biggest stories in recent NBA history. The internet will break. Every sports show in America will be talking about it for weeks. And if LeBron rises up and leads the Lakers through, if he proves once again that you cannot count him out, that story is just as big, maybe bigger. Either way, we're watching something special, and you need to be paying attention. Okay, full court gossip family. That is what I've got for you today. Lakers versus Rockets, tied at 2. Game 5 on deck. The whole world watching. And we are right here breaking it all down, giving you everything you need to be the most informed person in the room when this topic comes up. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Full Court Gossip. We cover NBA and WNBA all season long. We don't do boring takes. We don't do safe analysis. We tell you exactly what we think, and we back it up with the details. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss Game 5 coverage when it drops. And drop a comment below. Do you think the Lakers pull through, or is Houston about to make the biggest statement of these entire playoffs? I want to hear from you. I read everything. I respond to everything. This community is everything. Like the video, share it with your Lakers fan friends. They need to see this, and I will catch you in the very next one. Full court gossip. Real talk every time. Let's go.